Our top story. We begin with the latest news out of Ukraine. Ukraine's central bank raised its key interest rate Tuesday. They're hoping to boost the Ukrainian currency, which has lost 35% of its value this year. Ukrainian banks are closing branches in Crimea as Kiev prepares to halt business in the region. Around 20 banks have more than 1,000 branches in Crimea. And European stocks fell on Tuesday with reports of heightened military activity in Ukraine. Ukrainian forces are reportedly trying to regain control of cities occupied by pro-Russian activists. A group of Republican U.S. senators is traveling in Europe this week. They're looking for ways to reduce Ukrainian and European dependence on Russian natural gas. On Monday, Senators John McCain and John Hoeven met with Norwegian energy officials and representatives of the national energy company, Statoil. Senator Hoeven says Norway is exploring new sources of gas in its offshore fields. The group is also visiting the Baltic states who hold NATO membership in response to the developments in Ukraine. Now, the economy there remains fragile, and without foreign aid, it will likely face bankruptcy. The EU and the IMF say they're willing to help, but several challenges are still in the way. Mikhail Bardavid has more.
Ukraine, a country of 46 million, is struggling to stand on its own 2 feet. Its acting Prime Minister, Arseniy Yatsenyuk, has predicted it will shrink by at least 3% this year. Moody's Investor Service has recently lowered the country's credit rating to Caa3, 2 steps above default. These factors are making it hard to succeed in Ukraine's business world. The International Monetary Fund has promised support with a bailout package of almost $18 billion. However, it comes with conditions that include the increasing of taxes and cutting of subsidies for natural gas. Months of protests that led to the ousting of President Yanukovych and the ongoing crisis with Russia is certainly not helping. Doing business in such an environment has many difficulties. One of the main challenges small and medium-sized business owners are facing in Ukraine today is the volatility of exchange rates. During the last 3 months, the Ukrainian hryvnia has weakened by 45% against the U.S. dollar.
The euro is growing so fast right now that the exchange rate as well as prices for our goods change twice a day. We can buy the goods at one price in the morning, and in the evening the price is completely different, which causes many losses for us.
Public servants in Ukraine are also among those hurt by the condition of the economy. Some in the medical industry are already considering making shifts.
The amount of our salary is not satisfying and is actually really far from a satisfactory amount. And if all the prices continue rising, I'm not sure if the salaries will rise at least to the minimum that we spend. I think people will search for ways out. They will leave public service and will try to search for jobs in private clinics.
The interim government has taken steps to try to ease and support the country's economy. However, it is certain that tough times are expected here in Ukraine, and its citizens are preparing for it. Mikhail Bardavid, CCTV, Kiev, Ukraine.